Oh, hi folks, hope you're well. Relatively brief video, but oh, my hair's stuck to my head. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's it seems to me that the older we grow, the wiser we're supposed to become. But equally, the same could be said for the more disappointed you become as you grow older. Not so much in the way you look and what your bits are falling apart, and you're not young anymore, of course. But the realization that I mean, how stupid of me! I should have seen it when I was young, but you don't, do you? That it just gets worse. That's all, and nothing we can do can really make it any better. And what do I mean by that? I think it rapid, unless you're fast asleep and look into my eyes, you're in the total bullshit of it all, and you get carried away with the social media and the propaganda that surrounds us all, and you got to look on the bright side. Who says this nonsense? Look on the bright side. Tell me what the bright side is, please tell me. I look forward to these little ray of hopes because they're few and far between. They're little victories, but overall we might win the battle, but we're going to lose the war. And this is the realization that come to me a few years back, being a conspiracy analyst, not a bloody theorist. There's too many conspiracies, to call them theories, folks. You just basically pick your poison. That's what you got to do, and learn about it. And then you rapidly realize that the common denominator in all this conspiracy stuff, is the sudden realization. Why would it be sudden? It's in our face. But sometimes what things are in our face, we're so close to it, we don't see it, do we? We've got to stand back and take a deep breath and try and figure out what the common denominator of all the world's problems are. Apart from man, and it is a continuous land grab. We have to now realize this, certainly since 9/11. We are now faced with a future that is never going to be peaceful. Because peace, there's no money in peace. What would the Army, Navy and Air Force do if there was peace? What's the point? No. We've got to be in a perpetual state of war, of fear. Fear, yes, this four-letter word. There's plenty of four-letter words, isn't there? Fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. That's what it amounts to, false evidence appearing real. Much of the evidence, if not all, of the evidence we see to justify the war. But it isn't war as we know it, Jim. It really isn't. Wars now are so clinical, aren't they? They're fought from a coward's position. It's the politicians and bankers' wars, and it's the young people's blood that fight them. And now you see, in the 1914-18 war and 39-45 war, generally speaking, sorry, I'm looking out for a wasp. I'm just going to shut my window, excuse me. I hate to kill such things. I'd just rather avoid them. If we look at these two major wars, the world wars, if you like, you see, a lot of wars aren't world wars, are they? They're a country against another country. But the two major world wars, how is it that the Second World War became World War? We had a German guy, Hitler, wanted Poland. Thanks very much indeed, I'll take it. And he did. And then suddenly the whole of the world was involved in this nonsense about defeating Hitler. the whole of the world, that it was Hitler's fault, the start of the Second World War. But you see, you don't want to let a good opportunity pass. And this is Winston Churchill for you, who was begging for a job. He knew that if he didn't do, didn't do something about it, he'd be out of a job. So he made a big thing, something about nothing, because Poland was already gone. And I'm no David Irving, but I knew Poland was already gone. It was flattened by the time that Britain started to poke their nose around and the whole thing, and Hitler didn't want a war with Britain. But how did that, that takeover of Poland turn into a whole world war? You see how quickly the petrol was put on the fire by the politicians and the banksters who funded both sides of the war, of course. So it's big business. Never let a good opportunity to make a fast return on your cash. This is the thing. And now then, so the two world wars, but then we have lots of independent wars, civil wars, and now we're going into this 9/11 business, and all of a sudden now we're in this perpetual state of war and fear, false evidence appearing real. This big bogeyman in a cave, Osama bin Laden, this guy who was obviously on the American payroll. The bin Ladens, you couldn't interrogate them, you couldn't, where is he? And the puppet, the lookalike they apparently murdered, it wasn't bin Laden. Oh, what a joke. Was it Hillary Clinton and all the others sat around a video watching the commandos, go in and kill bin Laden? Do me a favour. No, but now you see we're in a perpetual state of war. But the big difference between the world wars and these wars that we're in now, of course, is that civilians are, it's no longer killing women and children. They're just called, get this, collateral damage. Doesn't it desensitize the whole thing? When they say, oh yes, there was thousands of people, there were, yes, collateral damage. As though it's nothing. Yeah. But these are innocent men, women and children who don't want a war. They were standby. They weren't in the military. I always thought battles and wars were fought by the military. Oh no, not nowadays. No. It's all very clinical. We have drones flying over now, dropping bombs and killing people from, 35,000 feet, thanks very much, flown from remote controlled areas thousands of miles away. How clinical it all is, isn't it? And now, this is the thing. What have we got to look forward to? Well, we've got to look forward to a future where we will be, and never seem to escape it, in a perpetual state of killing people. Nation killing the population of a nation. And we seem to be okay with this. Oh yeah, what's on? Turn over, honey. I've seen it all before. What's on? It's going to go for the car. Come on, get the channel on. And this is all right with us. Well, we have to just accept that we're never going to have peace on this earth. There's plenty of things to accept, and get your head around and understand and grow up here and realise that we're just cannon fodder. We're just animals on the farm. We're just tax-paying units. So, you can talk about a great future for your family and your kids and their university degree and they're going to do this and they've got such a great career ahead of them. Well, they have got a shit life ahead of them. Because the foundation, when you build a building, you better make sure that you check the foundation you build that building on is absolutely rock solid. And it's going to support that building to make sure that building doesn't fall down prematurely or gets damaged by other buildings falling on it. No chance. It ain't going to happen. There's no security in anybody's job. There's a wicked attempt of the governments of the world to downsize the population to 500 million. That's killing off 4 out of 5 of us, by the way, the Georgia Guidestones. We are constantly in a state of battle of trying to protect ourselves, if we're switched on at all, against chemtrails, if we know what they are, if you can be bothered to learn what they are and stop being so stupid as to think they don't exist. We're told we live on a ball when we don't. We live on a flat plane. What's the others? Oh, come on. You know by now. Sodium fluoride everywhere. Aspartame everywhere. Look at the big push now. I can't go and buy full fat Pepsi anymore. I've got to go and buy, aspartame, or yes, aspartame, this mental suppressant. You see, it's now compulsory. All the supermarkets have got rid of it. They just want fizzy drinks to have aspartame. Well, the only drink I actually subscribe to nowadays, folks, is Buxton fizzy water, because I like to burp. But that's my only indulgence, and I filter my drinking water. We've just got to look after ourselves and realise, and that's not part of the game. I am choosing to opt out of the silly little games, and I'm not going to be part of this. I don't personally have a truck. I don't personally have a truck with Muslims, Jews, Pakistanis, Israelis. Okay. I don't have a truck with anybody, me. I am me and I am free, and I am going through this world. I'm picking my way through the thicket of trees in this. I'm not lost. At least I'm not going around in circles. But I have the attitude now that there's little point in being optimistic. The only thing I can do is damage limitation to it. Keep living as much as I can, enjoy the time I have with others that I love, and guiding them way and helping to pass on what I know to them, to help them to guide their way through their thicket of woods in front of them, because it is a minefield, life, and we can fall down so many traps. My advice to my children is, don't think there's a job for life. Stop thinking that there is a difference between a job and a career, because there's not. Oh, the careerist, he's got the ladder of success. No, how many people do you know have a career from don't have the same job from start of work to the end of work? Of course not. Life's not like that anymore. For a start, the company you're working with probably won't be around in 5 years. It'll be eaten up, taken over, or fall flat on its ass, broke, and you'll be out on your ear. So there's not really any careers. And I think, to be honest, people who stay in one job for too long, they lack imagination and, I'm secure in my job. I've only got 4 more years to do before I retire. What are you going to do then when you retire? Oh, I've got a bit of money saved, a bit. How long have you worked for them? 34 years. And you got a bit of money. Doesn't that say it all? A bit of money. How long's that bit of money going to last you then? Well, if I'm careful, you think, oh, God. What do you mean if you're careful? You've slogged out your ass all your life. You've got a house that you've built and you've slogged your heart out. You've filled it up. You've paid her off. Well, good luck. At least you've got a roof above your head. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, I own my property. Nobody owns their property. They don't. They have the use of it. But they don't own it, because you and I own nothing. We come into the world with nothing, folks, and we go in a box with nothing. There are no pockets in our white death robe called the shroud. Is that? Some of these bastards would have to be buried. Some of the old kings used to be buried with their possessions, but they, there is a limit to how many terracotta soldiers you want surrounding by you. You know what I mean? It's not really going to work, is it? But this nonsense that career is the thing, well, it's not. Hello, surprise, surprise, and it's not Cilla Black. No. We're all broke. We start off broke, and we end up broke. In a hole he goes. That's all. That's the realization. And the between times, all it happens is life is just basically hopping from one crisis to another. There isn't a day goes by, I guarantee you, that you don't think, oh dear, I'd better sort that out. Because everybody's got more and more problems on their shoulders, because it keeps us busy on the farm, chewing the grass while the lions are creeping up on us. Well, that's right. We're headed for the sea of despair, folks, and that's what I'm in, the sea of despair, knowing and realizing that no matter what I do, all roads will lead to Rome. And it's been one long bloody nightmare. It's been fun in between the times. The crisis, a bit of fun, a bit of relaxation, another crisis. It's a cyclical thing, isn't it? But one thing now is very sure about our lives, is that we will become continually poisoned by those who want to kill us off and downsize us. Our children are being poisoned in their mind and in their bodies by a government that lies through its teeth saying they care for their children's future, our children's future. Bollocks. Yes, I mean, every time you see a politician's mouth move, they're lying. We know this. We have our wildlife being slaughtered by the day, extinct species happening by the day. Nobody gives a shit. You see, that's it. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody gives a shit. I'm alright, Jack. They all live in radio Wi-Fi. What's in it for me? WIIFM. That's our internet. What's in it for me? Hey, what's in it for me? Hey. What do I get out of it? Hey. Well, why should you get anything out of it? I saw an amazing video today, and it was about Richard III, I think, or Richard IV. One of them had I don't know, it was 3 or 4 to be honest. It's the fluoride. Inadvertently drunk some the other day. I don't know, God, it tasted bloody awful. I had no choice. I was thirsty and I didn't have any access to any bottled water or anything. I had to use the tap, sadly. God, it tasted foul. It smelt of chlorine. It smelt like a swimming pool, to be honest with you. I thought, God, it's going to be full of viruses and bacteria in this water. I haven't felt right for a couple of days, to be honest. Just a couple of mouthfuls as well. Give me a bit of a jippy tummy, gotta confess. But yeah, it was the king who died in battle. He had a crooked spine. I think it was, oh God, I can't remember, to be frank. You'll work it out. I think it's King Richard III, I think. I think it was Richard III. Could have been Richard IV. Richard, anyway, him with the dodgy spine. Yes, he was quite a sociopath, psychopath type, wasn't he? But he was actually butchered in battle. And one of the blows that killed him, well, apart from the smack on the head and the axe across the back of the neck, nearly taking his head off, somebody shoved a hot spike up his arse as well. Yes. Well, who else had a hot spike up their arse? Gaddafi, actually. Colonel Gaddafi got a hot spike up, or not a hot spike, but somebody shoved a bayonet up his ass before he died. Fancy that. Yes, we were stooped to such levels, weren't we? This is ISIS actually killed Gaddafi, folks. The American-funded ISIS as well. Yes. American-trained ISIS. Because Gaddafi was going to issue his own gold-backed currency and get rid of the petrodollar. You see, a bridge too far there. It's a good film, Bridge Too Far. Well, it is the realisation now. The toughest pill to swallow is that we'll never have peace on this earth. Never. And there's one group of people we got to thank for that. Yeah, the New Babylonians. Shall we leave it at that? We know who want New Babylon. The Tower of Babel. Who run the Tower of Babel? What happened to the Tower of Babel? Where was it? Babylon? Oh, sure. Well, they want to crack at it again, and they will get it. And where is that going to be put? The New Babel. Where is the New Babylon? Well, it ain't too far from Palestine. No. Okay. Try Afghanistan. Try the whole of lot. You see, this is what we've got. And once they've got that, and you know who they are, they will just control the world from that hot point. That'll be their nucleus of activity, where they will pull the strings. And they will continue this continuous state of war. because war is such good business. It's a fantastic way of the eugenics operation, isn't it? How to keep the population of the peasants down is continually kill their offspring in many, many ways. I mean, the ways that human beings can kill each other, one another, en masse is the most effective way. A big war, that's what you want. Or you can chemtrail flight. It's a slow kill and the fast kill, isn't it? They've got it sussed, folks. They really have. Well, that's why I ain't an optimist. And that's why you just got to seize the day, enjoy every minute you have in order to smile. Find 10 minutes of your time where you can switch off and just take a deep breath and have a laugh with your family. And keep a little diary. Had a laugh with my family today, because they're going to be rare events in the future. They're going to be moments that you can look back at, cherish as you sit there dribbling in a nursing home somewhere, wondering what the hell happened and was it worth investing 40 years of your life slogging your guts out paying your taxes? Do you know the answer? It wasn't worth it, and life isn't supposed to be like this. But don't worry, you will be back, as I will, no doubt, because we're recycled. Those who haven't learnt the lesson, well, I think I've learnt the lesson. I've managed to figure out why I've been on Earth, is to realise the futility of it all. There is no sense in futility. There's no sense in getting bent out of shape over things you cannot change. Hey, I've learned a lesson. Can I go on to the next universe now, please? I don't need to be a physical body anymore. I'm quite happy going on to being a spirit now. I think I'm ready to graduate. I've learned that life's a bag of shit. Being stuck in a physical spacesuit is very restrictive. Because as a free spirit, I want to go places, man. And the only way to go is first class, without having to cart this bloody thing around, which is a real encumbrance for me. There isn't a day goes by I have to take care of it. It drives me up the wall. I have to wash it, shave it, comb its hair, make sure I take my tablets, make sure I don't get knocked over and damage it, because this container that I'm in at the moment is driving me bloody scatty. I can't wait to shed this skin. And it matters not whether I've got chinky eyes or brown skin, or it doesn't matter what spacesuit we've got, and that's what it is. What pisses me off, though, is that so many of my ethnic brethren haven't quite twigged yet. The name of the game is to prove to those who control us, not the politicians and banksters, the gods, that we can graduate and be free of this thing we call our body, and we can graduate into the spirit world with the knowledge that being a spirit is a step up from being a person. I've served my apprenticeship. I've done currently 57 years. It fills me with horror, this number, 70 years and 10. But I guarantee you this, and I guarantee me and my family this: I ain't going to sit in a nursing home with a catheter, dribbling, looking out the window. And I really don't want to outlive anybody I love. It ain't going to happen. Not if I've got anything to do with it. Take care. Have a lovely Easter. Maybe you'll rise again. Well, that's just another day in paradise, isn't it? Not.